Hey, welcome everybody. He's Marco, I'm Driggs, and we are wallowing in the sticks.
Good evening, Barrister. I am more than delighted to be here wallowing with our community.
So we're trying to slickalize the production a little bit, and neither of us can remember our lines. So you might have noticed that both of us were reading that, and we promised to get a little bit smoother and better with that. So I say we just do it again on camera. Let's see if we can treat these people to a smoother opening. Are you ready?
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, welcome everybody. He's Marco, I'm Driggs, and we are wallowing in the sticks.
Good evening, Barrister. I'm delighted to be here wallowing with our grand community.
Now that's how we do it. You see how our improvement is exponential and immediate, much like the percentages for how far and how deep we've gone into this Major League Baseball tournament. I'm happy to report that today is day 16 of the MLB tournament, and we are on show number 16, which puts us 24% of the way through the Major League Baseball tournament. Now, that may seem to you like we've had a little bit of a jump from yesterday, from 16 over 17, 18, but we adjusted the algorithm like any good scientific algorithm does. It's constant adjustment. And so the adjustment involves not letting teams, these diseased teams, bring us down anymore. So there's a separate now caveat. We are 24% of the way through the Major League Baseball tournament, but the St. Louis the St. Louis Cardinals are only 8% of the way through the tournament.
Okay, so that's the caveat.
They're no longer bringing us down. We can't placate the those who have made mistakes. We push forward. They'll catch up.
So let me get this straight. When you machine the algorithms, that comes complete with caveats.
Deep caveats.
Deep caveats.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's our first deep caveat. I'll just mention that even I know that 24% is very close to a quarter of a tournament, and that's just mind-blowing. So thanks for sharing that. But, you know, I maybe I'm a little bit mixed on this. Maybe I'm a little bit, you know, starting to get a little nostalgic for lower numbers, because maybe the tourney's going by too fast. If we're already at a quarter, if we were only at half a third yesterday and now we're at a quarter, I feel like the tournament's passing right by me and I'm just getting old and going into the sunshine.
No, don't feel that way. You're on the train it's the winning train. Each day we're grabbing winners, and today we had another plus day, 2-1, and I am particularly proud of the 2 wins. You know, there's a couple games on the board today that were, I'll call them easy pickings. You know, the Dodgers at home, and they're up 5-1. That's an easy play, but I didn't send out play the Dodgers. You know, anybody can do that. That, you know, if you want to put up that much cash, yeah, it's going to burn you over the long run because the prices are too high, but you're going to hit at 70-75%. And so if you put those out as plays, a lot of times you're going to look like you know what you're doing. But
so, I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well spend an hour talking about exit velocities and whips, which we don't do here.
Right, exactly. That doesn't mean we don't take them into consideration, but
no, we just don't waste that. That's for the machining. You machine the algorithms, and then you give it to us in English, plain English.
We hit 2 tough plays that were tough to handicap. We nailed the Tampa Bay Rays today, 1-0 over New York, and Snell only went 3 innings. And in my write-up of that, I said he probably isn't going to go very deep, but the Tampa Bay pen was well rested, and we hinged this play on that, and we knew that this was just a bad spot for the Yankees. So we'll talk more about that word spot as we get a little deeper into the show. And we thought that the Rays would be a little bit more effective offensively, but this wasn't a play on the Rays offense. It was a play on the Rays bullpen and the Yankees situation.
Exactly. I just want to stop you there. I think this was one of your best plays of the tournament so far. It was so well analyzed. It was so well laid out, and it's almost as if you orchestrated it.
Well, if I'd have orchestrated, it would have been 6-0. But
oh, come on! You want to keep people excited, you want to keep that tension. But also, let me tell you, man, boy, were you right on the spot. And we'll get back to spot later.
Yeah.
Boy, were you right on the spot with that Bucks game. I mean, last I looked, it was 13-13 in the top of the 11th. But you were like, hey, these guys are just going to hit the blank out of each other. And Eric Gonzalez has 6 RBIs. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the final is in on that one, but boy, did you just nail that.
It's not a final yet. They're still hitting the ball around. It's 17-13, but we had that.
I mean, you took the over on the Bucks, and then but preliminarily described to the people that are on our VIP list. By the way, picks 4 sticks. If you want to get on the VIP list and get Michael's plays, I know our one of our VIPs, Kevin Courts, is as happy as could be because he got 2 more W's today. He got a W yesterday, and if you looked at the detailed pick with the Bucks, he was like, "This is going to be 7, 8, 9 runs on each team. This is a no-brainer." And it.
I would never say no-brainer.
I know.
You give me way too much credit. These are tough plays.
Nobody would say no-brainer, and we should make a promise that neither one of us should ever say that. I want to say dorks because I can't say something a little bit more in my stream because PC police. But anyways, do we want to talk a little game action, a little bit more game action?
Yeah.
Or?
So I do have to comment on the loss today because you have to grow and learn, and we're not perfect, and we're never going to be perfect. Even when we have a perfect day, that's not a reflection of being able to go 100%. And in the write-up today, I just didn't do the proper research. We lost to Toronto 5-3. I don't want to call it a misread, but we certainly were relying on the Toronto bats. They probably could have had a couple more runs, but really we're looking for them to put up 5 to 8 runs, and Boston got 5. So we were looking
for that game all the way.
Yeah. So that was a loss. But
yeah, I consider that one of our good losses. It wasn't our best good loss, but it was a good loss because I was still looking. I was still sweating it out, but I was so happy about the other, W's that, this was icing on the cake, or as I like to say, icing on the bourbon, because we boil our own bourbon here in the States. So I, don't feel bad. I mean, you're so hard on yourself. How about me wetting myself over Schmarzda? He's the ground ball pitcher. He ground ball pitched his way to 3 home runs and I think 5 earned to a double digits ERA last time I checked.
I think my line last night was when you said ground ball pitcher, I said yes, except when they're crushing them over the fence.
Well, there you go. I mean, I just have the night twisted a little.
Yeah, just a couple comments about the day's action. Miami wins 4-3. People are very high on Miami right now because they're winning, but a lot has to do with the scheduling. And we're going to find the right spot to get on Miami or get against Miami. So we'll be paying attention to that. Those of us who were like a little bit excited about Cleveland's bats were immediately reminded today of what Cleveland's bats are. Meanwhile, the White Sox haven't done anything exciting. And I was actually grateful that the Atlanta-Philadelphia game was postponed, because those of you who got my write-up today, to me, that was the single most difficult game to handicap. And I love it because, Mark, you made me look a little bit deeper. We called the play, and I'm just glad that it win or lose that. I just really didn't even want to see that game play out. So when we get to our reads tonight, any game will be fair game. But
I like to challenge you sometimes, and you know that.
So that was fun. But I have an Ahoy to give out today
let's get right into the Ahoy-hoys.
To Dr. Berger, my father. I was over having dinner with the folks tonight, and Dr. Berger, PhD, Dr. Berger, says to me, that was hilarious last night when you said, if you want, I was talking about BD Dale, our loyal fan and
Mhm.
guest handicapper who has been hired at our school district. And the joke I made was that it's going to take him a while to get his fingerprints in. I said, you want your fingerprints done to just get arrested tonight? They'll take them tonight. That was the joke. And so
And
Dr.
still
Berger,
fun.
yeah, Dr. Berger said, that was hilarious last night when he said, oh, you're watching, Dad? You watch? And he said, no, your mother watches. She told me. I'm like, oh. It's like, that's fine. And I said, Mom, did you tell them what games we went on? And she said, I don't pay attention to that. I just like your jokes. So, we're something for everybody here. So, an ahoy hoy to Mama Berger, too.
Yes, we love Mama Berger. And she sticks with us. I mean, she should maybe start throwing a little action on some of these games. We're doing well.
Funny. So, Marco, you wanted to revisit a thing that is still a thing?
I think that is still a thing. I wanted to revisit the thing that was still a thing, just briefly. Chris Davis is still a thing. I mean, the Orioles got angry today and made some hits. Nunez has got his 6th homer, I think, and Iglesias, I like to call him Gracias Iglesias. I think he had 4 hits today, and he's batting like .455. So, but Chris Davis did get a couple slap hits and got 2 hits today, so he's still a thing. But the thing that interests me that's still a thing again is that crowd attendance is staying very consistent. And Soto made a point of doing cutouts of his whole family, which I thought was cool. Grandparents, abuelos. His dad, his mom, a whole beautiful Dominican family. And I just noticed that they were in the left field, seats. And I was wondering, couldn't he afford field box? Anyway, cardboard cutouts are still a thing, and I do like them. I want to talk a little bit about our opening, because now it's kind of occurring to me that we went through a lot when we were thinking about wallowing, because I was like to you, wallowing. It's got a nice feel when you're in the sticks, you're wallowing, you're luxuriating. But then you were like, well, sometimes people can have, a negative connotation about wallowing, wallowing in your misery or whatever. But we were thinking about it. So I said, look, we don't have a big budget, and you're very tight with the budget, especially since you're planning another trip to Vegas. We don't have a big budget, but we decided to do some market research on this, and we did Pew, we did a monkey survey, and we did this focus group, but it was all virtual. Unfortunately, and you couldn't be there for any of this. I did my best to manage it all, and unfortunately, the Zoom focus group got kind of crossed, and I ended up spending an hour and a half watching a focus group on the Lady Gillette. So I think it's just going to be upon us to make the decision on whether we want to keep wallowing. Forget the market research. I'm sorry I wasted part of the budget.
But we got some new prizes out of it.
We got some new prizes out of it for sure. And I'm going to say, let's have a vote right now, because we have to be unanimous. Let's keep wallowing. What do you think? Thumbs up?
Oh, yeah. The whole thing is wallowing. Every moment we're wallowing.
Okay, so we're always wallowing. And
wallowing.
What I did learn is I should no longer shave with a dull lady Gillette because of the micro cuts that you would get. And it's just not COVID kosher. Let's move on from that. I blew the market research. But anyway, we're keeping wallowing.
Yeah, and so talking about cuts and injuries, I do think it's necessary for me to update the viewers who care deeply about my health, as I've been going to the doctors. It's been my week of doctors, and I just want to
interrupt, because I don't want to step on you as you get in the flow. But what if we just have some VIPs and just some regular subscribers? Not your mom, obviously she cares deeply, and your dad, he says he doesn't watch, but I think he sneaks it in. What if they just care about you and they don't care deeply? Should they just turn their head or put it on mute for now?
No, they should listen carefully, because the blood work came back and it's just excellent. in as good shape with my blood as it can possibly be. So even if you don't care about me, you should get on the butcher box. The butcher box, and why should they get on it, Marco?
Butcher box. When you need meat and you sometimes need a butcher, it's all free range. It's all organic. There are no antibiotics. Michael, I'm talking about the meat. I'm not talking about the butcher.
Exactly. And it really makes a difference in just your health and your welfare and the way your brain pops as soon as you get there. So, Marco, that's Butcher Box.
All right.
Do we get to the first reads, my friend?
Let's get right to those first reads, my friend. I'm excited about the first reads.
So, New York and Tampa, game 2. What's going to happen there? New York, obviously, is going to be against the Tampa Bay pen that has, Snell only went 3 innings, but it's a doubleheader. So these are 7-game doubleheaders. And that is so exciting. I can't wait till the Cardinals are playing 8 doubleheaders simultaneously in 4 different cities. Cleveland and the White Sox are back at it. Cleveland needs some juice, something. They need something. But Plesac goes against To Be Determined. Detroit and Pittsburgh, if they ever finish up tonight, will play tomorrow. And let's see, Houston and Oakland, interesting game because this game tonight is just 1-1 into the 9th. We like that matchup, but I'm glad we're not sweating that one out. Atlanta and Philadelphia, are they going to play 2 tomorrow, Marco?
Yes, they are playing 2 tomorrow.
So game 1 looks like Atlanta will find somebody. Maybe they'll make an outfielder throw against Arrieta. Who knows what's going on there? Baltimore. Guess who's pitching for your O's tomorrow, Marco?
To Be Determined.
Exactly, which is unknown to us. Meanwhile, the Angels in Texas. Yesterday we talked about how the Angels are one of these teams that are just inconsistent, and it is like they're ready to make a move, but they travel, and if they were against a really good team, you would know that you play against them. That's just the reality. And so here they are in Texas tonight, where you can't really play on them, but you can't play on Texas either because Texas is, well, they're just a disaster. But Texas is up 3-4 in the bottom of the 7th, and who knows how that'll turn out with the Angels pen, and it's just, you just can't.
That's a tough game. Yeah, that's a tough game. I think Canning pitched pretty well so far today, and Trout
hit a homer too. But
he hit the beard, honest, and hit a 2-runner. But I think there was some sloppy play. I had it on in the background when I was listening to the Lady Gillette focus group. But I think there was some sloppy play, or this could have been a little bit more.
Yeah, but that's what happens. That's what happens with these teams. Whether it's a breakdown of pitching or hitting or defense, somewhere along the lines, the inconsistency comes through. So Cincinnati and Milwaukee, interesting that Cincinnati's bats are now maybe starting to come to life. Perhaps it looked like Milwaukee was going to get ready to move, but that didn't happen. In the later games, you get Miami again. To Be Determined on the mound, but they're going against the Mets that are a wreck. Toronto, Boston. This is an interesting pitching matchup, Shoemaker against Godley, but Boston seems like they have Toronto's number here. I thought the first game was a good shot for Toronto to get their win. Chicago, St. Louis, are they going to play tomorrow? Well, they find another player on St. Louis who tests positive. I don't trust that.
I don't think they're playing tomorrow. That's my feeling.
Right. I don't want to put any time into capping that game, especially when it's not something I have a good feel for right away. And you get Kershaw back on the mound against Cueto. So maybe tomorrow night sets up maybe a little better for San Francisco. You have to dig in deep, but I don't see any angle there. Maybe San Francisco will be 4-1, maybe. But the final games are Arizona, San Diego, and Colorado, Seattle. What's Colorado? I like Colorado a lot in that game today. They're up 4-3, and tomorrow it's the pitching matchup kind of favors Seattle. So that's another.
No, what's going on with the pitchers in that San Diego, Arizona game?
Well, Kelly's going for Arizona, and he's pitched well in both of the starts so
Who's
far.
pitching for San Diego?
It looks like it's either, well, to be determined, or maybe Paddock. So Paddock has been excellent if Paddock is going, but some places are listing Paddock and some places are still to be determined. So I don't.
Well, that was a great first read, and you wanted to make. We made another change today in the meeting. We had something that I kind of foolishly was calling first read spot play because I was putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
But now we've changed it to the you want to talk about that?
First read flyer. I'm excited about that because we can't call it the spot play because it's not a spot play. It's a play that Marco's put me on the spot to challenge me for, but spot means something very specific in handicapping. Like our play on the Yankees today, it was a spot play because the Yankees travel, the amount of games they're playing, Tampa Bay's rested bullpen. When you analyze the game, it really should be Yankees slightly favored, but just the nature of the situation, the nature of the spot means you go with the other team, not the Yankees in that situation. It's a bad spot for the Yankees. It's a good spot for Tampa Bay. So that's a spot play.
Yeah. Thank you for clearing it up. I just wish you didn't have to bring the whole crew in to admonish me like that. But, everybody knows now, and I blew that. You're not perfect. You didn't know horse racing and chariots were trotters. So
right.
I can say we're even because mine is weighted a little more. So we're going to call it the first read flyer. Michael's going to be committing to whatever play I want, even the plays where he says he wants no interest. But what I'm going to do is I'm very excited about this San Diego, Arizona game, and I'm going to put a flyer on that, and you're going to commit to making a play on that game. He's not going to give it to anybody but the VIPs that write in or email in at picks. The number 4 sticks. You'll be on the VIP list. We have a myriad of prizes. We have Warby Parker frames, but you never know when they're going to come. My frames still haven't come in. I think they probably went to New Brunswick, Georgia, which is the Bermuda Triangle of the Americas, I think. So,
but we don't tell anybody what our prizes are anyway. So, and just because you want a prize doesn't mean that's exactly what you're getting if you win another prize.
No, they don't get to ask for prizes. They get a prize.
Yeah, exactly.
Get on that VIP list. We know for sure that Michael is going to make a play on that San Diego, Arizona game tomorrow.
That's the first read flyer. That's the challenge, and I'm up for it.
Good. Jinx. All right, so we found out today that we're almost a quarter away through the tournament, which was a little bit mind-boggling, but that came with a deep caveat, and that's complex machining of algorithms, as we talk about every day we start off. We committed to wallowing while we entertain you, even though I blew the focus group shenanigans. This was a good show. I think it went by a little bit quicker, and that's, I think, good. Sometimes we'll go longer, sometimes we'll go shorter, but today was quick. We come out with 2 wins. People are in the money if they're getting that email, and I'm going to say goodnight to you, and I'm going to say I'll see you tomorrow.
And just be aware that these games start tomorrow at 11 a.m. So get to sleep. We got a lot of work to do. Everybody have a good evening. Thank you, Marco. We'll see you tomorrow night.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow night, Michael.
Good night.
Good night.